Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest, Dr. Kristen Guillory, who's here to share with us the power of pause. So what if the very things we've been praised for, working nonstop, shrinking to fit in, and always showing up strong, are actually costing us our mental health? Well, today's guest is here to share with us just that. Dr. Kristen Guillory is an acclaimed international speaker, author, coach, and mental health professional known for her transformative, heart-centered approach. She earned her PhD by the age of 27 and has since delivered over 1,500 talks to audiences totaling more than 500,000 people. Blending humor, storytelling, and deep insight, Dr. Guillory empowers individuals to break free from emotional barriers and live with clarity, purpose, and ease. Her expertise has been featured on NBC, Fox, CBS affiliates, and Forbes. She's the author of Walking Through the Fog, Holding On to Hope When You Can't See the Sun, and Look, Stop Hiding, How to Find Your Voice and Never Dim Your Light Again. And she's the founder of Candid Conversations for Men, a powerful space for truth-telling and healing. So welcome to the show, Dr. Kristen Guillory.
Thank you so much. I am grateful to be here.
It's such an honor to have you here with us today, not only to explore your incredible work, but also to dive into this powerful concept of pausing and what it means for our well-being. Can you expand on that for our listeners?
Absolutely. And for me, things are always going and things are always fast and there was a time that I, as I like to call it, was in captivity to activity and I just said yes to everything and was so busy and I never paused. I never took a moment just to reset and not pretending that the pause is going to change the things that are going on, if hard things are going on, but just a moment to breathe. The pause could be so many things. It could be a moment to breathe. It could be a moment to reset. It could be pausing your scheduling link so people can't book you today because you need time to breathe and rest. But it's remembering that in order to show up as our best for our clients or our community or our family, rest and pausing, it's required. And too many people don't do that, I think, because of the fear of what happens if I don't show up, the FOMO, fear of missing out, thinking that we have to be the ones doing everything all the time. But subconsciously or consciously not realizing that if you actually take a break and pause and tend to what's important in the moment, that will do more good for the other things than you will ever know.
Well, how powerful is that? It has me kind of thinking, so what inspired you to even focus on like emotional exhaustion and burnout?
A couple of things. I personally was there, not necessarily burnout, but I never stopped. I thought my identity was in what I did and not who I was. I thought I put myself on a pedestal and made myself Jesus in the lives of many people around me, where I didn't realize that I didn't have to do that for everyone. And I was a professor for 10 years, and every semester I had at least one student on the verge of going to the hospital because they didn't stop, because they were in school, they were a parent, they were working, and had so much pressure on their shoulders in addition to possibly being a caregiver, and that woke me up. And I'll tell you what woke me up even more. The final one is I have been mentoring people for many, many years. I'm a coach today and I've been mentoring for a long time. And I remember there was a weekend and I was getting together with three women that I was mentoring, and they all got sick. Like they were all sick in different ways. And I remembered that I was not reflecting rest. I was not reflecting pausing because they wanted to be just like me, but they did not factor in that one, I have a higher capacity to work and produce. Two, they had things going on in their lives I didn't have. One was in a not great relationship and struggling there. Another was caregiving for her mother. And when I saw them and I just thought, I reflect confidence, I reflect all these things, but I wasn't reflecting resting and pausing. And that was not great.
So, why is rest a mental health tool?
Oh my goodness. Rest is a mental health tool because it literally does that. It allows the body, it allows the mind to rest. And rest is so many things. Rest, there's cognitive rest, there's social rest, there's physical rest, there is rest where you may be moving your body, but your mind is taking a moment to breathe. There's rest in not doing a certain type of work, but you're hanging around friends that allow you to be yourself. And the reason rest could be considered one of the mental health tools is when we are exhausted, we are not producing in the way that is required of the gift we have. When we are at the level of burnout, we are not seeing as clearly as we should be doing in the work or with our families as we should be. So, rest can be whatever the person defines. And I encourage people to do research on rest or pray about the best way to rest for you or to remember what does my body need right now? And you may feel guilty when you rest. A client of mine recently asked me, he said, Dr. Guillory, I know that I'm being called to rest, but how do I deal with the guilt? I said, rest and feel guilty. I believe in saying and. Rest and feel guilty. You might feel guilty in the beginning and it will be beneficial for you. But rest just gives our body, our nervous system, our mind an opportunity to reset. A lot of people have difficulty going to sleep. They can physically be still, but their mind is still racing. So that may be physical rest, but not as much because the mind is still going and going and going and not having an opportunity to calm down, to slow down so the whole body can slow down, rest, and be recharged for the next day.
Well, you said something that I want to touch on, and you talked about soul rest. What is that, and why is that so important?
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, soul rest is beyond, I just ran 5 miles and I need 20 minutes. It is when your soul is tired, a 20-minute break is not going to do anything. When your soul is tired, it's saying, I need something deeper than a nap. And we appreciate naps. I appreciate the nap, but soul rest is could be connected to disappointment. Maybe there was something that you were hoping was going to happen by a certain day and you're tired. It could be tired from not only caring for a loved one, but watching them decline. And that could be connected to, I'm connected to this person at a soul level and I'm so tired. It's the person who I got sleep last night. I slept for 6 to 8 hours or 9 hours, but I still feel tired. There could be something else going on. There are many people currently who just feel tired every day because there's a heaviness, especially if the person is an empath or if they are considered highly sensitive. And I'm both. I'm an empath and a highly sensitive person. So I feel people deeply. I feel energy. And I at times need to take a week off after events or after certain engagements because I felt the heaviness of people. I felt their sadness. I felt this and that connected with my soul. So our soul's rest is connected to being in nature, being by water, journaling, allowing yourself to feel what it is you're feeling because what does not help is if I'm feeling frustrated right now, but push it to the side because I don't have the right to feel frustrated, that's going to make your body tired. We have the right to feel what we feel. We just need to be mindful of how we allow those feelings to be manifested.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And it has
Yeah.
me kind of thinking of something that you really talk on as well. It's
Yeah.
code switching. What is that, and how does that impact us?
Oh my goodness. Code switching is when someone presents themselves in a way that is not authentically who they are. Code switching is essentially I am one way with my friends, like, "Hey girl, how you doing? Okay, what's going on?" And then I'm in a meeting, "Well, good morning, everyone." And you just change in order to fit in. Now, On one end, for some people, code switching is survival. So there's no judgment at all with code switching because it's survival. It is if I show up in my authentic self, I think or somebody told me that I will lose my job. So it's when a black woman is wearing her natural hair or wearing braids when she has a job and she straightens her hair. That's code switching. And that could be considered code switching for survival as a so one of the things I do, I'm a speaker coach. And one of the things I talk about with my clients is be careful of adopting the speaker persona, aka code switching, where again, offline, you are lighter or you have a different personality, but in front you are so robotic and structured, and that's not who you are. So code switching is I'm switching to assimilate to the group that I am in front of. And sometimes it is from a place of survival. Sometimes it's also from a place of you don't even know that you can show up exactly as who you are and that will bless the entire room. Okay. Something I like to say is you can command a room by being exactly who you are. But when you grew up or when you've grown up around voices and statements that say you're too much, you're too loud, you're being extra, you need to be seen and not heard, you begin to believe that and you don't even know that I can show up as myself. So the dangers of code switching, it's mentally heavy. On a conscious level, one may not realize how mentally heavy it is, but it's almost like, you're wearing a backpack with 40 pounds of bricks in it, and you're walking around with this backpack all day, and you get in your car at the end of the day, and you're like, why am I tired? Like, why do I feel extra tired? Oh, because I was going against who I genuinely am. And when we go against who we are, that is taxing on the body, on the brain, and I also understand, why people code switch. So there at times is not a lot of permission for people to just show up in your goodness and show up in your gift, as I like to call it, show up in your sauce, because you can bless the people with who you are.
Well, what a great world would it be when we all show up authentically as ourselves? And it has me kind of thinking for individuals that want to begin to release the pressure of constantly performing and being somebody else, how do they start doing that?
I love this question. Thank you so much. So, one thing to do, okay, I call it the pink sock moment. The pink sock moment. I was in Washington, D.C. a couple of years ago leading a training. And we were talking about different things. And there was a gentleman that said, Dr. Guillory, I don't feel like I get to show up as myself at work. We have to wear really boring colors and gray and navy blue, and that's not me. And when I don't get to show up as me, I don't perform the best. My question to him was, okay, what is a favorite color of yours? He said, I love bright colors. I love pink. Okay, I love pink. I said, yes, sir. Do you have any pink socks? He said, I do. I said, okay. Can you wear pink socks to work? And he was like, I can. Sometimes the first step is not about other people seeing it, it's about us walking in who we are authentically for us first. There was somebody else I talked to, and I had a job interview, and my feedback was that my lipstick was too bright. And so she stopped wearing lipstick for 2 years. And my encouragement was, put your lipstick back on, okay? Is that authentically you? And she said it is. So her first step was starting to wear red lipstick again. Wasn't for anybody else, but for them. A final example I will offer is if we are now in front of people, if you are leading meetings or you're talking or anything like that, here's a first step to just allowing yourself a little bit of grace into honoring where you are and moving in the direction of showing up a little bit more like you. I had a client in Atlanta and she was leading a meeting between her company and another company. These are very well known companies. And she said, well, I'm going to start the meeting. Tell me how you're going to start the meeting. Well, good morning. I said, no, ma'am. That is not how you start your meeting. No, ma'am. Tell me something else. She said, well, this other company is very highbrow and I'm not sure. Tell me how you start your normal meeting. She said, well, with my normal group, I say, what's up, y'all? That's how you start your meeting. The meeting was Saturday with many executives, and she opened it up by saying, when I work with my team, blah, blah, blah. So, what's up, y'all? Fast forward. When the panelists, all these executives got on stage for the panel, every single panelist said, what's up, y'all? It even became the hashtag of the weekend just because she showed up authentically as herself just a little bit, and that was a massive first step for her.
So, how can humor and honesty lead to real mental health breakthroughs?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, humor, and it's something my sister calls your laughter vitamin. There are all different things that make us laugh. Humor is something that activates a different part of our brain. It feels good to laugh. Why do people enjoy going to comedy shows? It just feels good. I spent an hour laughing. Oh my gosh, there's lightness that my nervous system got to release and process some things in laughter. And so, laughter is so healing. Laughter is so beautiful, and laughter is necessary. And you have the right to find what is your laughter vitamin. If there is a certain comedian, a certain TV show, a certain movie that just allows that for you, because life can be heavy. Life is heavy right now for many people. And just to give yourself that moment to laugh. My sister, who went through something very, very hard some years ago, she would end her evening with watching Jimmy Fallon. And she said, "That's my laughter vitamin. I want to leave with something light on my spirit before I go to bed."
Well, that's a very clever way of handling that and doing that. My goodness. And I understand that you have a couple of really good upcoming events.
I do, and we are excited about it. Speaking of my sister Danielle Anderson and I are hosting Rest, a retreat for Black women, July 3rd through July 7th in South Florida. We are Black women focused, all women friendly. My sister is a doula, a somatic healer, and a yoga instructor, wellness advocate, and all these great things. And it truly this is our third year doing it. And it is truly a beautiful time to rest on all of the levels: cognitive, spiritual, physical, soul level rest. And we in a way, help the women to excavate the things that are preventing true rest. And it could be that I'm hiding. It could be that I don't recognize how amazing I am. It could be that I'm carrying other people's things. And so it's a combination of fun. We go to the beach and have a releasing ceremony. We're going to do fireworks over the ocean. We have a freedom runway show that we do on the pier. It's just a beautiful experience. And the women have called it life changing, life giving. They recommend, like, if you need rest, you need to go to this. And so that is July 3rd through 7th in South Florida. And the next experience is called the Sabbatical Experience in Santorini, Greece, one of my favorite cities, and it is November 1st through November 11th. I went on a 6-month sabbatical in 2024, traveling to about 20 countries, and remember thinking, I know everyone can't or doesn't want 6 months, but how many people actually take 11 days? 11 days to go have a sabbatical for yourself. And so we have beautiful things planned, a lot of just free time to go be and breathe and walk. But we also have sunset sailing, and we have going to the Black Sands Beach. We have photo shoots. We have so many beautiful things planned because I want to provide experiences for those who maybe never considered their own sabbatical to come and have their own experience for 11 days in one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Oh my goodness, both of those sound amazing. Where can our listeners learn more about these events and be part of your community?
Absolutely. You can visit KristenGuillory.com, KristenGuillory.com.
Well, Dr. Guillory, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you so much for having me and providing a space to discuss something that's important and necessary, which is rest and pausing and so much more. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kristen Guillory. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about the power of pause. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.